eye stick to the face and had a black eye. And I remember as soon as the stick hit me in the eye thinking, my wife's going to kill me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I'm asking for the podcast, a little bit of makeup. It helps a man out every once in a while.
Sad to admit our cat people, not sure where that came from.
Operational and mechanical efficiency and equipment downtime reduction is really what our aim is here.
Hi, I'm Adam Kress, Director of Supply Chain. I've been with Deepwell a little over 12 years, and joining me today is Matt Allan and Joe Wakeling. Matty, why don't you tell Deepwell a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Matthew Allan. I'm the Director of Manufacturing. I've been with Deepwell coming up to 10 years in September. I've held many positions from service tech to fabrication supervisor to maintenance manager, and now I'm here.
The on-call mechanic in the middle of the night.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Joe Wakeling, tell us a little bit about yourself, bud.
Joe Wakeling, Vice President of Manufacturing, Strategic Sourcing, Inventory, and Facilities. And I am a rather newbie here with 2 years of service at Deepwell, but come from many years at other companies, and specifically have some manufacturing background in the specialty steel industry.
Yep. And Joe likes to work field hours while working in the office. Little side note.
Yeah, well, us old guys, we like to get up early and,
First one here every day.
By 9.
First one here every day, Joe Wakeling.
5 a.m. I roll in.
Yep.
Get 3 hours of peace and quiet before all.
You guys hear that? You want to get to the top? You want the VP title? 5 a.m. That's what it takes around here. All right, let's get started with your journey into what led you into a leadership role here at Deepwell in manufacturing. Matty, you want to start us?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, unintentionally, the oil field's kind of been my life work. In Edmonton, where I grew up, that's the dominant industry. The energy sector is the bulk of the industry in that area. So I started in a oil field equipment manufacturing shop out of high school. My goalie of my hockey team got me a job as an apprentice there, and I spent 8 years there doing fabrication and service on oil field equipment. And pretty much after that 7 years, I think it was decided I was going to be a lifer in the industry.
And then how did Deepwell acquire you, Matt?
Deepwell acquired me. They purchased some equipment from my former employer. At that time, I came to this facility in Zelienople to commission the equipment. Met with Adam, Sabo, Joe Connolly, a couple other characters, and was sold on the story and saw a lot of growth and potential here. So that was in September 2015. I joined up after visiting the area.
We were lucky to get you then, bud, and I'm glad we still got you, man. So, Joe, what led you to leadership in manufacturing here at DWS?
I think maybe by virtue of the resume that I had. Again, I have had a long career. I have worked and had many facilities startups along the way. At one time, I had 14 facilities, manufacturing plants reporting to me, and most of those were startups. So we got those going from the ground up. So I think that what made me a natural fit here to get the manufacturing off the ground.
And who was part of interviewing you, Joe, when you joined Deepwell?
That would have been Adam Kress, Director of Purchasing.
I was just putting two and two together. I think I was in part of getting both of you to Deepwell Services. At least I'm going to take credit for it. So, guys, tell me what inspired DWS to get into manufacturing ourselves. I know we've been doing, HCU work. We got into pumps, AutoSep. What made us think about manufacturing?
I would say that that occurred as a byproduct of strategic review of Deepwell operations, and really with the growth initiative and objectives that were put in place, it seemed like a natural fit for us, certainly from a vertical integration of our supply chain standpoint. And as you well know, Adam, from your purchasing role, that we did have some issues over the past couple years. Of course, the pandemic sent most supply chains into disruption, but it became particularly difficult for us with some of our suppliers to they had capacity constraints and certainly supply chain issues. So really that analysis led us to believe that we may be able to handle some of our supply chain and leverage our supply chain to a better extent.
So kind of why we did it, I guess you're saying that we couldn't get the products we wanted in enough time in a timely manner, and we really wanted to control our own destiny?
That and the fact that we were able to leverage pricing. Certainly, the more that we can consolidate, the better pricing we can negotiate.
Matt, do you think the Cat 3s, us performing the Cat 3s, had anything to do with us getting into manufacturing?
Yeah, I think so. From my angle and background in fleet, fabrication, maintenance manager, all that jazz, we've been bouncing around for years, and I think when it really started to take off, that we had the ability, the skills to perform that was when we took on some refurbs and upfits of hydraulic power packs back in 2022. The fleet team performed, I believe, 4 upfits where we took smaller engines, smaller pump drives, smaller units, and upgraded them to fit our revised HCU fleet. And I think that's when everyone at Deepwell recognized that we can do it efficiently and we can do it cost effective, and we don't need to ship units to Canada to get this work done or ship units to Texas to get this work done, and I think that really laid the foundation.
Yeah, kind of put the seed in play. So once we decided we were going to do manufacturing, can I guess, Joe, you take this one first. Can you walk us through what took shape? Like, how did Deepwell start to form manufacturing? What did you do first?
Well, we did an analysis to see what piece of equipment made the most sense for us to start with, and of course Matt had already been working on a prototype power pack internally and completed that and brought it in under budget, under cost of what it would cost to source that equipment from a third party. So that was a natural transition to power pack production. From that, we looked at sourcing, and Matt was able to get Deepwell is certified as an OEM CAT manufacturer, and from that, certainly price breaks and leverages on that. So we were able to source 12 C18 engines last year at very favorable pricing. So really, that was our initial step into the manufacturing waters, was with power pack production. And actually, Matt, you've completed to date 4, or we're in the process of working number 4?
Correct. Yeah, there's 2 completed, 3 is in assembly, and 4 is in fabrication stage at this time.
And 5, 6, and 7, and 8 as well are slated to be completed by the year end.
Nice open frame power pack, huh?
Yeah. Concept with our Middle East expansion, we figured we needed a product that would handle the climate here, South Texas, East Texas, North Dakota, and the Middle East. So we're kind of working our way through building a hybrid product that'll have the ability to be tarped in, but also have the ability to allow open air and cooling. So it's definitely not at its complete point yet. We're still working through everything, but I think by the time we're done and all 8 units are out, we'll have a product that we're really happy with, and a product we can be very flexible with.
Yep. Good. And that kind of leads us to our next question. How does the new manufacturing department align with the DWS's broader goals, the vision of technology and operations? How is this tying into that?
The more stages of supply chain you can successfully bring under your control, the more benefits you're able to reap from that. The standard benchmarks of company efficiency, cost savings, quality, capacity scaling, you're able to control more of those stages. So the flexibility of producing components in-house allows for quick changes to be made and to improve operational efficiency quicker. And of course, we can improve the safety of the equipment and the product for our crews at a faster pace.
Yeah, and we can reduce the cost of them improvements, right? We've seen sometimes when we improve things, price really skyrockets.
You purchasing folk are all about the cost.
Well, it's about the value, but yes, we tend to look at the cost to come up with the value. Joe, what are you thinking about manufacturing tying into the broad goals of technology? What are you seeing over there?
I see it as a natural progression and transition with boresight. Certainly able to expand all the boresight technologies into everything that the manufacturing encompasses and everything we have planned for 2026 and beyond actually is closely integrated with Boresight Technologies.
Do you want to talk to us a little bit about some of the future projects you guys have planned?
Well, nothing firm, but we're doing cost-benefit analysis on multiple products for 2026. What quickly comes to mind are the chemical injection skids, auto sep units, accumulators, certain HCU components that we've discussed, and Matt has done an analysis on quite a few parts as to what we think we can produce internally.
And them chemical injection skids, they're going to be tied right into Boresight, right?
The overall thought process is actually the HCUs, including the power packs that are being produced, the chemical injection skids, auto sep, everything will be integrated, talking, and controllable from the doghouse.
Yep. And if you want to know more about that, check our last podcast out with the O'Brien brothers.
So as manufacturing is vertically integrating the company in terms of HPU production, think about the vertical integration of the market segment of Deepwell, where now on a pad, Deepwell has the HCU, they have auto sep units, they have chemical injection skids, all available. So really those are all services that were provided by third parties in the past that Deepwell now offers on pad. So that's the epitome of vertical integration for a company.
So what are some key outcomes or improvements that you guys think the team can make to equipment we're manufacturing?
I think we have a unique advantage over most of the equipment builders in the industry. We run our equipment.
Direct feedback.
That's it, right? I get the NCR reports. I sit in the NCR meetings. I have a good relationship with my former team on the maintenance side, so I feel like I have a good pulse on the challenges that our team is facing currently, equipment challenges, product challenges, that we can consistently be making those improvements before they're formally brought to my attention. That I really don't think any other manufacturer has that ability. So to summarize that, operational and mechanical efficiency and equipment downtime reduction is really what our aim is here.
99.7% uptime?
I believe last couple of years we've been in the 99 percentile, but as always, relentless improvement. We want
100%.
And just to expand on Maddie's thoughts there, think about this. We have the internal engineering capacity now, so any changes we're able to put those into place, engineer, design, and actually implement them in very short
in real
order.
time.
Yeah, in real time, basically.
Yeah, and we've even seen that with some tarp designs we have coming up from North Dakota, huh, Maddie?
Yeah. Adam hooked me up with his awesome tarp vendor, and what's funny is any vendor Adam gives me has this extremely high opinion of Adam.
It's strange. It blows me away too, Maddie. I don't know.
It's always so funny. They're just like so willing to do something for us. Like, oh, you know Adam? Like, I do. I'm surprised.
That's the power of Deepwell, Maddie. You're giving me too much credit.
No, I think it's the power of Adam Kress.
Yeah.
I think you've made a good name for it, whether it's Deepwell or yourself over the years. So no, yeah, with simple stuff like that, like adjusting tarps, we can pivot really quickly and make those changes and make upgrades, and the more people we get involved in it, the more ideas we get coming in. So it's all the good stuff.
So when we made this transformation, guys, this takes the right kind of people. What kind of mindset did you guys have to build this team? How did you go out and pick the people we brought into manufacturing? I guess we could start with you, Joe. I mean, why did they pick you?
I think I was picked because I drew the short straw, but no, seriously, I think because my background in extensive manufacturing experience actually brought me to the forefront on that, and certainly Matt and his background, very specific background in the oil and gas industry and equipment, that made that a very easy choice from my perspective.
Yep. And then Maddie, once you were hired into manufacturing, how'd you go about building the team? What did you look for in the guys?
We'll use some of Deepwell's favorite words: relentless innovation, constant improvement. This goes for all the products we produce as a manufacturing and fabrication team. Anywhere we can build or make material changes or process changes to gain time savings. But really, as we got these people on board and started putting assemblies together and creating, something that stood out to me is when you're able to weaponize creativity and ask people to be creative. We found a lot of success in that, and it was, people are more motivated to build something that they brainchilded and they created, and they stand behind it and they want it, they're proud of it, a lot more than if I paint them in a box and say, here, do this, here's a blueprint, make it to the blueprint, and you have no creative abilities with it. So yeah, we're lucky to have a lot of really creative people, and weaponizing that creativity is gonna continue to push us forward.
Now, while building it, I'm sure we're thinking about the QMS side of it. Is there any talks about maybe getting the Q1 licensing down the road?
That's actually been a conversation that we've had quite often. I think we have a team meeting bi-weekly on that, and we are in the process of moving API certification, and maybe that seeking API certification.
And that's going to have a full data book as well, right, Matty? Anything you build?
Of course, yeah. Because we're still under our Q2 umbrella, we still have to adhere to the same policies. If Deepwell were to buy equipment from another vendor, they expect the same data package to show up. So yes, we definitely have to continue that and adhere to our Q2.
And I think that's another good advantage for us controlling the COC process, because we know that can be a nightmare with some of these vendors.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, to come in 2026, I'm sure there'll be more additions to the quality team, and potentially someone specifically for manufacturing that helps us, cross those T's and dot those I's.
All right, good to hear. Deepwell's always growing and expanding. So, Matty, earlier you mentioned that you played hockey. Are you still playing hockey? You got anything hockey stories you want to tell us? Let us know you a little better.
Yeah, I do. I still play in a men's league at the Lemieux Center in Cranberry.
Now, what level men's league? Because I know there's all these different levels out there. What are you playing in?
Well, Matty? I don't want to be labeled as a sandbagger, but I'm in the D League right now. But in my defense, I played defense my whole life. They have me as center. So
okay.
Playing in that league was the first time I ever took a face-off in my whole life.
Okay.
So, it's not a complete sandbag situation.
Still feel like it is. Matty's a very good hockey player.
I've scored more goals in this men's league than I did my entire junior career. So,
but he's not sandbagging. Yeah, he's not sandbagging.
But one quick story for you. I got married in 2023, and a week before our wedding, I took a high stick to the face and had a black eye. And I remember as soon as the stick hit me in the eye, thinking my wife's gonna kill me.
Oh yeah.
And I went off the ice and looked at it, and it was black and swollen and bloody right away. And I remember coming home that night, and she said, "Oh, how'd hockey go?" And it's like, "Oh, I took a stick in the face." And she's like, "You did not." And it did the whole black eye, and I had to, the girl who did her wedding makeup had to come to the hotel I was at on the wedding day and put some cover up on me, and
yeah, like I'm asking for the podcast, a little bit of makeup. It helps a man out every once in a while.
Yeah, that was typical. There's so many typical Canadian hockey player jokes, and it kind of just felt right that I had a black eye for my wedding.
Yeah. Felt good.
Could have been worse. It could have been a tooth.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of you hockey players are missing the teeth. Joe, so we got that new building in manufacturing around back there by the Cat 3 area?
We do. It's still a work in transition. Offices are being completed that'll provide break room, lunchroom, locker rooms, restrooms, private offices. We're very proud of what we've created. Certainly, it's a very nice spot, about 27,000 square foot. Gives us plenty of room to grow over the next couple years, and hopefully Matty can get it filled up with production for Deepwell.
Nice. It's a really impressive shop out there. So Maddie, I know you introduced us a little bit about work, your personal background. You touched a little bit on the family there. What do you have going on in the personal life? Wife, kids, what do we got? Come on.
Of course, yeah. Deepwell led me here, and then put me in an apartment, and that led me to meet my wife. And we had our first child last year, February 25th. So she's, just over a year old now, and that's been a whole new experience. So it helped me, have a lot of respect for yourself with your kids when you're dealing with 4 kids under 4. And then and just doing it with a smile on your face and just continually to be one of those happy dads that is just so excited to hang out with his kids after work. So yeah, I've definitely taken some notes from Adam Kress's book on that one.
Thanks, Maddie. Joe, what about you, man? Give a shout out to the missus.
Shout out to the missus. Just celebrated 31 years of being married, and actually, I'm going to say I'm proud to admit that my children are probably older than the 3 folks on the other side of the table here. My son's 29. He's actually a cardiologist at Cleveland Clinic. And my daughter is 27, and she is a podiatrist, and she is currently a resident at Metro Health in Cleveland. So both my kids very close together, both live in Cleveland. Both, I'm sad to admit, are cat people. Not sure where that came from, but anyways, that's the cross I bear. And I only bring that up because I'm cat sitting right now, and I thought I was getting rid of the cat this weekend, and my son bailed on me. So, unfortunately, I have the cat a little bit longer.
With CatCom, you'll be cat sitting the rest of your time here, Joe.
You're always cat sitting. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today on episode 14, and we'll see you next time when we get beneath the bit with Beyond the Surface. I didn't say that right. I thought I had it. I thought I had it.
It is a tongue twister.
It's a real tongue twister.
That's a tongue twister.
It's so hard. I practiced it. Thank you for joining us today on episode 14, and we'll see you next time when we get beyond the bit. Beyond the drill bit. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time when we get beyond that drill bit with Beyond the Surface. I'll never get it. We'll see you next time when we get beyond the bit with Beneath the Surface.